It's time to start hawking off the spoils of the cryptid hunting lifestyle. Regardless of how real or dubious the items are, you're ready to put a price on everything to sell it off to excited punters to put some money in the bank. Between the irritated customers, cynical naysayers, weekend warriors, and the shadowy organization that might be watching your every move, a real retirement never looked so close. Today we're playing a hack of Hawkers by S.Gates/August that I'm calling Mystery Monster Merchandise. I've turned Hawkers into a game specifically about selling cryptid merch with some heavy inspiration from Monster of the Week by Michael Sands, and I've hacked in some of the rolling mechanics from Bell Songs by RPGNatalie. It's not currently available, but when I think it's finished enough, the rules document will be posted to my itch.io niftyhat.itch.io. Joining me on this wonderful adventure is Eve.
That's me.
Eve, you're drawing cryptids? No, monsters.
Yeah, I kind of did my daily one.
Right.
I did my daily cryptid monster thing, but I might draw another one.
But that's your month challenge, right? Is your drawing?
Yeah, it's kind of like just whatever.
I'm trying to hype this up, and you're like, yeah, it's whatever.
Every day I'm drawing a monster by my table of 4 different things, and I roll 4 dice, 4 d6s, and they will give me a generation of a monster I'm supposed to draw.
And you drew a cool desert plant today.
Yeah, a large desert plant with a delicate flower. It's
really nasty armored aloe vera that will break your limbs.
Yeah, basically. It's like if an anaconda had aloe vera blood and steaks on the inside.
Anaconda that has buns?
No buns.
My anaconda don't.
My anaconda got buns.
No, it's got steaks.
Also on the show is Esty, whose anaconda's got buns.
Yeah.
And Daryl?
New month, new me.
Well,
I don't believe you.
Does that mean we gotta call you something else?
If you so choose.
Okay.
Do you use numerical patch versions or alphabetical patch versions?
A mixture.
Do you use different types of cats?
What?
You know, like the one that was like lion and lynx and whatever.
Oh, no, so someone done that for their patch names?
No, it was like Linux, I think, uses.
You're thinking the last generation of Mac.
Oh,
OS
okay.
was mountain lion and lynx and stuff.
Okay.
Ooh.
I mean, Android updates are like candy.
Yes.
Oh.
That's why I was saying alphabetical. So you go A, B, C, D.
Oh, Jesus.
It makes it easier to talk about versions of software internally because people don't give a shit about
It's also easier to name tornadoes if you go by the alphabet.
Yeah. Nobody cares about version 3 or 4, but if you're like Catalina or Davenport, people know what you're talking about.
Davenport.
I
want some Davenport flavored macaroons now.
So what you need to play 2 to 6 players who are your co-workers, 2 to 4 hours, 2 12-sided dice, and notoriety tokens. Oh, right, Daryl, this is where you were saying I called it notoriety in one place and notability in a different place, right?
Yeah, notability under, where was that? Yeah, rolling. It says Mark 1 notability.
I'm gonna change that to exposure right now. I'll live fix this. Hot patch it even.
Welcome to Hot Patch.
There's a section on safety tools. We have lines and veils and the X card. Does anyone need refreshers on how any of those things work?
Nope, seems pretty straightforward.
I feel like I've done lines and veils with you guys.
I don't recall that happening before this.
Well,
that's fine.
Let's do it now, and then I don't have to do it again.
Right.
Or if I do, it's just for the purposes of people listening, and it's not for you guys. So a line is a line if you don't want to see it in play at all. You don't want it referenced, you don't want anyone to talk about it. If you are currently experiencing trauma with a thing, or maybe you just, it's not fun to you, right? That's a line. Veils are for things that you want to not focus on. You're still okay with them existing in the world, but you want to just fade to black or draw a curtain on, rather than getting into detail. The X card, we're not actually using X cards for these streams. We're just going to keep using holds from Stewpot. So either write hold in the Discord, or DM hold to me, or say hold, and we will stop play when it's invoked. We stop without there's no explanation required as to why we've stopped play. We will discuss how we can resume play. We'll make the person who has called the hold comfortable again to continue play. I trust you guys that these tools hopefully shouldn't come up. I think that we have that rapport, but if anyone does feel the need to use any of them, don't hesitate to just fucking say so.
Yeah.
So, setting up, you're all former cryptid hunters who now work together in the same shop. First, determine what your shop is like. Is it tidy? Is it cluttered? Does it see a lot of traffic, or do you only get patronage from discerning collectors? What is its name? You should have an idea about your setting, how common magic is, how common cryptids are, and so on. So, I want to deal with the first thing off the bat. This is a human side game from the Cryptid Chronicles, so cryptids are not common. They are rare, and lots of people just don't believe they exist. Like, consider it close to how things are in our lives.
Okay.
Of like, if you told somebody that you met Bigfoot,
Yeah, Sasquatch is the go-to. Yeah,
you would receive an equal amount like of credulous.
Yeah, okay, buddy.
Don't forget that Bigfoot whoops.
Whoop.
Everyone forget about the Sasquatch. It's all about the Sax-Squatch. Love that guy.
Right, oh, of course. Yeah.
How common magic is? It'd be like, magic is a thing that exists if you manage to lay your hands on something from Crypto World. Like,
Sure, that, yeah.
if you get something that leaks through, you might be able to do a very limited, very dangerous, very unpredictable form of magic.
Sounds pretty sick.
In the Google sheet, I've put in 4 detail spaces for the look, similar to how things were in Stewpot, so that each of us can just add, but you're not limited to answering a specific question for the shop. So does anyone have answers to like what this shop is like?
Oh, I was gonna say one of those like shops where it's so cluttered you have to like squeeze through like certain corridors, or like to squeeze through to get to other parts of the shop, and basically you have to go around people by going other ways or stepping out of the way while they come or while they pass you. Basically, it's like a one person at a time, except for the main desk would have a little bit of space for multiple people to stand.
I already wrote my detail.
It used to be a restaurant.
Yeah.
Before it escapes my brain, my first instinct for shop name was off the record. I'm just, I'm just throwing that out there. You can munch on that.
Munch crunch.
Yeah, you can smoke on that.
I just think because then it has like a larger bathroom and like a small kitchen and stuff.
How
Maybe like so it's got like a balcony.
How obvious is it to people that visit our shop that it used to be a restaurant?
Yeah, is it like one of those buildings? Is it one of those buildings where like you can tell it used to be a Pizza Hut? Like it looks exactly.
I think it would make sense if it had, you know how at restaurants where people sit, the lights hang down really low? Yeah. I think it would make sense if it had that still. So in
we have like artifacts on like dining tables with a light over it. So we could afford
in our cluttered abode.
Yeah. Like we make sure that the aisles between tables are clean and like nothing else.
Okay, so it's super restauranty. Like we didn't even remove the tables.
Yeah.
I think maybe
we didn't have time for that. What, you want us to get new furniture? We're poor.
I think maybe we have like shelves stacked on tables or something.
Yeah. Yeah, just like this like ransack. We tried to make it work.
And then Even my question about it being cluttered is it cluttered enough that you could get lost, or...
No, because so Nifty, you know that bookshop?
Yes, when you said
That-
cluttered, I knew exactly
Yes.
which store you were talking about.
Yes, the bookshop that's downtown Vancouver, known for being cluttered. That's what I pictured.
The one where, like, if anything happens and a fire starts, there's nothing saving that, right?
I want to
like,
say
that place.
it's McLeod's.
I'm gonna say like lots of gaudy signage, like heavily advertised on the storefront in the immediate area.
Yeah,
Is it like lots of posters and stuff, so you can't really see in? You have to like peer through the posters, and they're all like different and handwritten. Some of them are printed, some of them are handwritten, some of them are like neon.
Neon signs.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
If you guys haven't been to McLeod's, you need to go look up an image of like what this place is like.
It's like books on books on books. Some are piled up high, and you have to like some you just can't have.
I love
you just can't have.
I love that like this carpet. There's like a strip of carpet, and it's like taped down to the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, if you ask the owner or like the guy that works there for a book, he like knows where it is.
Oh wow.
We were like in there one time, and this like person listed off like 5 books, and he knew exactly where they all were. I'm like, how the fuck? So apparently the category system is just that man's brain.
God, yeah.
This bookshop's fucking rad.
Have you never been there?
Nah.
Do you get... Okay, I guess I have to answer this patronage question. Do we get a lot of customers?
Ooh.
So I think we do. Here's my pitch. Is that it's one of those stores that tourists come in and are like, ooh, you know, isn't this all cool and fanciful? But the people that know to talk to people behind the counter or what specific areas of the shop to go to be like, this is the good shit.
Oh, so it's almost got like kind of like a front thing going on.
Yeah, but we don't actually have a back. It's just like the clutter is so bad.
Right.
I was gonna say the good stuff's in the kitchen. in the walk-in freezer that's been shut off for like 4 years.
Do you guys see Good Omens or read Good Omens?
Nah.
Love
no.
Good Omens.
But yeah,
in
Good Omens, the angel who owns the bookshop to collect books. He almost never sells books to anyone.
I always call him a chew I fell to piss off my sister. Except she loves it.
And I think it's kind of like that, but we still have tact to sell to the tourists, right? Like we have stuff where if they do pick up like, you know, a genuine 30-pound hunting crossbow that could put a big hole in in someone's chest, we like gently guide them.
Oh, I was thinking, you know, they pick up something like actually, you know, perhaps interesting and valuable, and if we don't want to sell it to them, we're just like, oh yeah, that one's 56 mil.
$2,600.
How do you care to sign a blood contract?
Yeah, we just
Oh, that one's cursed. Your family will die in 3 days.
Yes.
Highly discouraged. Could I interest you in some authentic Loch Ness Monster merch?
Always.
I've written we have a bunch of tourist shoppers, but also core clients who know what they want. We got anything else?
Okay, I need to write mine still, right? Nobody wrote mine?
No, nobody wrote yours. Is there anything else we need to establish details-wise?
Smells faintly of pizza.
It's an Italian restaurant.
All the good shit comes up on the dumbwaiter.
I was gonna say the old owner still comes in and uses the kitchen from time to time.
Taro, you're back.
We already have a disguised cryptid.
Let's talk about characters. I know you guys have all created your characters already, right?
Yeah.
So in the book there are 6 classes. Each class gives your character a feature which is used when you're rolling things, and the 6 classes which are heavily inspired from the Monster of the Week book, which I should include my ludology. Whoops. There's the Battle Hardened. You look so tough. You look tough enough to take a supernatural monster in a fight and have stories about times you've done so. Your feature is intimidating strength. The Expert, you work or worked for a quote-unquote professional cryptid-related organization. You have a real knack for getting information you need, and their feature is information. The Incognito Cryptid,
you definitely aren't a cryptid hiding in plain sight. Your feature is weird. The mundane, just a regular human being, very average, normal person. Your feature is luck. The criminal, sometimes searching for real monsters of this world means working on the other side of the law, and the feature is sneaky. And the nerd, Polaroids, newspaper clippings, and crossbows are so quaint and old school. The modern monster hunter uses enhanced smartphone, drone camera, and an automatic rifle. And their feature is technology. So Esty, tell us about your character.
My character is Poyn Dexter. He's a neckbeard with long dyed black hair and genuine leather trench coat with fingers gloves. What he calls is a fedora, but it's actually trilby. An NES Zelda cart backpack, cargo pants, a Two Brothers shirt, chain wallet, and combat boots. He also sports a blue Oni mask with digital eyes and a voice modifier.
Okay, that's the Two Brothers shirt that Daryl was.
Stupid thing. It was originally going to be the three wolves howling at the moon trope, but it was going to be Kill la Kill characters.
I do like the three wolf moon. That I like that one.
Yeah, it was going to be Kill la Kill because I was going to have it that my character wants to sell out, like make a bunch of money to buy anime figures and waifus.
Wow, it's like some fucking Travis touchdown shit. Yeah. Oh my god.
And I didn't want to name him Point Dexter as his last name because I couldn't think of a first name, so I just named him Poyn Dexter. So it's just a play on Point Dexter.
Two people didn't write their player names down, but Vexx must be Eve.
Vexx is me. So Vexx is the cryptid, and I don't really have they're this kind of cryptid. Yeah, they're the cryptid. They mostly look like a normal pale person. They have pointy ears and mismatched colored eyes, but their eyes aren't always the same. Like it'll be like some days it's like brown and green, and other days it's like blue and purple. And they wear a like fancy tailored suit. They're they them non-binary. They look very much actually would love to share if my streaming thing would start streaming my screen again. But yeah, they are a small, slender person. They wear a kind of cape to hide their extra pair of arms that they usually have folded behind their back.
Okay, I love it. Great.
They also like to mess with people. They one of their favorite things to do is convince people like the most ordinary item is actually like a super rare cryptid thing. Like it could be a spoon, like a bent spoon, and it'd be like, oh, this one, oof, I don't know if I can sell you this one. They do their best to try to sell the most normal stuff to people, opposed to actually selling the actual cursed items. But they will sell cursed items, especially if it's funny.
Daryl, tell us about Agent Sniffer Redacted.
Siffer.
Oh, I see your pronouns are redacted.
Yeah. So it's not good to share your character spine, but I'll do so anyways. Kind of somewhere between JC Denton and Postal Dude is kind of what we're going with.
That doesn't
here.
Help me. I don't get either of those references.
Seriously?
Maybe JC Denton, but
looks like.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, JC Denton's the Deus Ex guy. Okay, yeah, yes, I know who JC Denton is.
And the Postal Dude is, of course, the Postal Dude. So he is a recent hireling who applied to work here with an obviously fake ass lorem ipsum goddamn resume. He claims to work for the Glacier Initiative, which seems to be something between a 2001 paranormal internet forum and Majestic 12. He's basically decked out sort of like a Blade Runner-esque cyberpunk investigator dude. An unkempt ginger ponytail, got like a Punisher t-shirt, what looks like it may or may not be a military surplus tack vest, combat boots, really, really heavy freckling and dimples on his face. Yeah.
So, I am playing Artemis R. Spencer Churchill. That last name is not their real last name. In fact, none of their name might be their real name. Because they are the criminal, and they did crime to get all the money that they have right now. They acquired vast wealth, I think, through some combination of blackmail and larceny.
Sweet.
And is using it to fund this very legitimate Cryptid store that is definitely not money laundering in any way, shape, or form.
I like it.
At least nobody can prove it's money laundering easily. And my look is well-dressed middle-aged gentleman, impeccably dressed, silver fox hair, wears jeweler magnifiers. I don't know what they're called. They're like the thing that the jeweler always has to like look at gems.
Oh yeah.
To see how rare they are. There might be some implication of it being used specifically to examine cursed merchandise or whatever.
Got like a demon eye in it.
It does more than give you a zoom up view of a thing, supposedly.
Or so he claims.
Yes, yeah. So now we have characters. We need to create an item. There's roll tables, unless you guys just want to pick something, or should you just roll for us? I'm going to create an
cool
item
with you rolling.
and a problem. Alright. Our item is 4, which is guide. And the problem with the item... Oh my god, okay, we got 12, which means we need to roll 2 problems.
I like it.
Man.
So the first problem is 4, so it's missing pieces.
Okay.
Oh, I love it.
Good.
And the other problem is 8, which is that the cops found.
Oh boy.
So yeah, we're selling some guide. When I wrote it in this book, a guide was like some sort of cryptid hunting or fighting or killing guide, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Missing pieces assumedly means that the guide is incomplete in some way.
It's like one of those guidebooks that you get for video games where somebody has cut out a bunch of the pictures, and so on the other sides there's blank information because on the other side of the paper there was important information.
Anyone want to establish anything else about our item before we frame the scene?
I want to say it fits in your pocket. Like it's a pocket guide.
It's also easier to fit in your pocket since it's missing pieces.
Is it actually? It's actually thinner than it should be.
Yeah.
Is it missing whole pages?
Yeah, I'm thinking like whole pages have been torn out.
Chunks of information is gone.
That'd be
With-
funny.
With this determined, it's time to frame your scene. As a group, determine where you all are and what you are doing when the buyer arrives. Don't be afraid to introduce complications into the mix. Overcoming complications is what makes things fun. I think I'm just going to jump ahead and talk through playing the game, if that's cool,
Okay.
before we frame.
Yeah.
So there's 4 phases to the game. The buyer comes into the shop, discovering the problem with the item, trying to resolve the problem with the item, and the sale of the item. So what was our problems? There were 2 problems, right? It's incomplete and the cops have found
Cops
us.
have found us. Yeah.
Okay. So the way we play in scenes is that there is a focus. So one player is the focus player. Whoever bought or sold an item most recently goes first. When you're in focus, you describe what you do as you go about trying to sell the item. You describe what you say, what you feel, and what you think. The other players, your co-workers, will describe the world, speak for other characters, and judge the effectiveness of your actions.
Wait, we can buy items?
What?
And whoever most recently bought or sold
Yeah.
an item?
In real,
IRL.
In real life.
Which would be me because I work at a retail store and Esty wasn't working today.
I'm sorry, Eve. I didn't realize that this was. I'd be
Oh, good.
picking on you.
That's fine.
With this. It's so in Bell songs, the person that goes first is the last person to pet an animal.
Which
Ah.
wouldn't be me because I don't have animals.
You're sad about going first. You're sad about going last.
Can't win!
I'm sad about having no animals.
Just go pet Pusheen or something. I don't know.
I will. Maybe not right this second, but I will.
Threats, obstacles, and opportunities. At any point during your turn, especially when it feels like something interesting should happen, your co-workers will introduce a threat, an obstacle, or an opportunity. When you do something to resolve a threat or obstacle, anyone can say that it is dangerous, uncertain, or both. If it's dangerous, your co-workers will tell you how you've made yourself vulnerable. If it's uncertain, your co-workers will tell you whether or not you make it based on their gut instincts. If it's both, your coworkers will tell you how the situation has escalated and become worse. So, can somebody give me a good rote RPG or role-playing example? It's like you found a treasure chest in a dungeon, and you're like, I opened the chest.
Okay.
If your coworkers would consider the situation to be dangerous, they'd be like, the poison darts come shooting out of the chest. If it was considered to be uncertain, then it's more like you don't know if you could reach the chest or not. If it's both, then the situation escalates and becomes worse. That's your like suddenly ogres moment. That's when you introduce something else that's going to make things even more complicated. You can veto whatever decision they would make by declaring that you are going to roll. In any of these situations, dangerous or uncertain or both, if your co-workers think that you won't make it, then the bad thing will happen if you don't roll. So rolling, you roll a d12 to determine the outcome of a character doing something dangerous or chancy. If you use your class feature, describe how you apply it and roll 2d12, take the highest one and mark 1 exposure, which I'm totally changing the name of right now. On a 9 to 12, describe how you turn the situation in your favor despite the odds. On a 5 to 8, you describe how you turn the situation to your favor and the threat is resolved, but a co-worker gets to say what factor complicates your situation. On a 1 to 4, you describe how the situation has gone completely wrong and you are put in danger, but your co-worker gets to say what sliver of hope remains for you. There's a list of complications and hopes that I'm not going to go over here because we can reveal them in play. When anyone feels like the current action would make a good cliffhanger, they may end the turn, move to the next person's turn, giving them the focus. When it comes back to your turn, pick up from where you left off. Ending the game ends when either you've sold the item or you reach, I've got to update this, 6 exposure.
Oh.
So the singular item,
Yes, just the
the
one
whole
item.
game ends.
Yes. The way I see this is if we really enjoy this game, we want to play it, we can play another round to sell another item, and so on and so forth. We just sell
Okay.
one thing at a time. I didn't have the time to expand this to be like, this is a whole retail experience. Hawkers certainly doesn't support that. And to summarize the endings, if we sell the item, we get to describe what cool good stuff happens from selling the item. If we reach 6 exposure, we describe how we've been revealed to a group more dangerous or powerful than us and what fallout that has. That's all the rolling stuff. Everyone, you guys already shared your thoughts about it, so we should clean up and play, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. So, as a group, determine where you all are and what you're doing when the buyer arrives. Do we need to, as a group, establish the buyer before we establish a focus?
I suppose so.
I guess this is a question for you, Eve, since you would be the focus. Are you okay with the narrative weight of being like, this is the buyer?
Sure.
As a group, determine where you're all doing what you're doing when the buyer arrives. I am, my character name, whatever it is, Artemis. Artemis R. Spencer Churchill. I'm in, not like the back, I'm behind the counter, cataloging some stuff.
I'm also kind of behind the counter, not helping out, just kind of chilling in a chair with my feet up on a desk.
I'm gonna say that Siffer is hauling in a bunch of like big like black military suitcases and just kind of like stashing them in the back of the store.
Esty.
Poyn is on his computer in the back having a bidding war on eBay.
You guys are all fucking model employees.
Oh well, I'm looking for cryptid shit, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna need this stuff later.
I'm just fucking around.
To be fair, the person I've got in the front is probably the person I most want to be speaking to customers, so...
yeah.
The person who is coming in, he looks kind of like sketchy in the sense that he's like glancing around. He doesn't know how to act when he's buying goods like this. He's wearing like a hoodie. He's probably like young adult, maybe 20, 24, somewhere in that range. He has big glasses and long hair tied back in a ponytail, but you can't really see it because he has his hoodie up, and his hoodie's black, but on the back of it, it has some design for some bullshit anime or whatever he's into. I don't care. And he has baggy pants, and yeah, he comes in and he's like, he's sketchy looking, not because he himself presents sketchy with his clothes or anything, but he looks like he's like waiting for someone to jump out at him.
Oh, okay, so he's paranoid.
Yeah, he's paranoid.
Artemis
Think of somebody coming in.
Subtly
sorry.
checks the CCTV feeds around the shop.
Think of somebody coming in the first time they're buying porn.
Okay, so he's nervous about his first time.
Yeah. He's a newbie. He's coming in. He's like scared he's gonna get caught.
Does he nervously not approach the counter to talk to anyone? Does he poke at other
He'd
stuff?
probably start by walking around the store, like pretending to shop for not that. I don't know what else we pretend to sell, but he would probably like try to make it look like he's not eager. But I think he would approach the counter after a while, especially because my character would definitely not. They're definitely not the type of person to be like, "Oh, hey, how can I help you?" They're just gonna sit there and you come to me.
Unblinking.
Spending an obnoxious amount of time browsing.
Not really paying attention to them, really. Just like, "Oh, hey, what's up?" Kind of. My character does not care.
So I think that what happens is that this person, whilst they're going around the store, the thing we discussed happens where they pick up something that we know is actually genuinely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
In some way. And Artemis just nudges you to go deal with it.
I roll my eyes.
I mean, maybe you have your feet up on the counter, right?
Yeah.
He takes your feet off the counter.
Oh, does he just shove them so my feet are
very politely?
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I look over what? I don't say what, but with the look over, it's oh, okay, there's a person there. And so I stand up and I go over and I'm like, "Hey, what you looking at?" Remember, I don't play the character.
Yes. I needed to establish the threat or obstacle. I guess it's dangerous. And you made yourself vulnerable in that you are going to expose yourself to...
Near the object?
No, because I sent her, my character sent her to go near the object. Right. I think you're vulnerable in that Artemis has noticed how you've been with customers recently.
I'm vulnerable, I'm gonna get fired.
You're gonna get written up again.
Oh, whatever. My character does not. You do fire me? Doubt it.
Maybe not fired. Maybe there's something Artemis has collateral on you. That's not a big thing, but it'd be annoying.
I doubt it. It's probably just doing grunt work, okay, it's your time to clean the bathrooms or something. You're ah!
Is it something he's promised to not schedule you for bathroom duties for a month if you start doing your fucking job properly?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, something along those lines.
Having once been a restaurant, there's an inordinate amount of bathrooms.
Once been a restaurant?
Yeah, there's several bathrooms in here.
Yeah. So I think that's the you become vulnerable in that if you fuck this up, you may lose your bathroom not cleaning privileges.
Okay. Remember, I don't play the character though, right? I wouldn't want to talk to myself. That'd be terrible.
Yeah. You're just accepting this danger? I just want to know.
Oh yeah, my character doesn't care until it happens. So it'd be whatever, I'm gonna walk over here and be like, "Sup, dude?"
Okay.
And then I'll basically not care, but it's okay, no, you have to clean the bathrooms. Be like, "What? I did so good though."
Who wants to be the shifty teen?
I nominate Daryl.
Oh yeah. You want to be the shifty teenager buying crypto porn for the first time?
Oh man. Hey, look. Me and some buddies we're planning out going out in the woods and doing some hunting, wink, wink, next weekend. You got anything to help me out?
Look around, and the item that we're trying to sell in the scenario is on top of a TV guide, and I grab the TV guide from under it, and I like hold it out and like start flipping it through. It's like, see this? This needs to be deciphered, but it can totally tell you where, like, you know, any cool thing you want to hunt. Wink, wink. I say wink, wink aloud. Like very clearly, like my mouth is open. Or it's like but you also have to buy the decoder book with it, unfortunately.
Wow, man. I didn't know they were hiding codes and TV guides from 1998. This is kind of crazy. Maybe those X-Files episodes are real after all.
Dude, they're basically like, I don't know, like they're telling history, but like, you know, now.
That's really exciting. You know, I've always wanted to meet Scully in person.
You could totally if you buy the both this and the decoder book.
Vexx, how's your situational awareness? Would you notice if somebody was like listening in on your conversation?
Maybe if it was like if it's the boss, probably not. I don't care.
No,
but
no,
if it's
no,
like...
not the boss. I'm thinking somebody who absolutely isn't a cop. He's an undercover cop.
Okay, he's totally not an undercover cop.
Started paying a lot more attention to you since you started talking about the TV guide.
Can I pose a quick question here?
Yes.
So, like, how obviously cryptid is Vexx? Like, how, you know, like...
I just look like a pale person, and I wear, like, this cloak. Like, I have pointy ears, so I look like I'm trying to look like a cryptid.
Okay.
But, like, my extra pair of arms that I hide behind my back is covered by my cloak. That's what I wear, or a coat, or my cape. So I just look like I don't want to say a bad cosplayer, but kind of a bad cosplayer with, like, you know, I have all the tropes. I have pointy teeth, I have pointy ears, I have the miscolored eyes, I'm wearing a fancy suit in like this old shop. Someone might think I'm a cryptid, but most people would probably think I'm some stupid teenager cosplaying as one.
Hey Eve, how close does your character Vexx look like to Vexx from the PS2 game Vexx?
Not very. Well, pointy ears and short spiky hair, so I guess kind of taller.
Yeah, I should hope taller. And like, does Vexx sound like a person, or like what's... Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Vexx is more or less like, they seem normal other than the fact that they're pale and they look like they're trying to cosplay as not normal.
Right, I see.
And of course, if you saw the extra arms, but they do a pretty good job at keeping those hidden.
Do they look like a teenager or an adult?
Probably closer to a teenager. You would probably mistake them for a teenager, but they're older than that. They just don't look it.
Interesting.
So the kid, the person who's buying might just think I'm lying because I'm a stupid looking kid, but I don't know. I don't think Vexx would notice that. Definitely not a cop is paying attention.
Okay.
So afterwards, Vexx does pick up the actual cryptid book, being like, yeah, this is like the boring old decoder, but the important stuff is in that fake TV guide.
Is this an upsell? Is that what you're doing here?
Vexx wants to sell the TV guide as the actual item because they just think it's funny.
Okay, well, this is definitely
Yeah. No, they just think it's funny. They're just like, they're trying to sell the TV guide as like the item that the person wants. It's like, oh, also there's this.
Okay,
but you kind of have to buy it alongside.
The cryptid guide is the actual item, like the item with the problems, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So it's the mostly broken and I guess the cops are on to me about it item. Yeah, so I present the actual item as like the code book, and I'm just like, yeah, you gotta get this with it. It's the one that'll like decrypt the important book. But yeah, I would buy both of them together, but you do you, bro.
Wow, man, yeah, this is like super exciting. But so this decoder book, right? a lot of these pictures in here, they're looking really detailed, and also the page numbers. I don't know. Is there a reason why it skips from page 5 to page 77?
That's clearly part of the decoding, my dude. They wouldn't make it straightforward. Like, what? You want anybody to find these hunting, like these, I don't know, bear? Wink, wink.
Shit, dude, that's sweet. Oh my god.
J.R. Not a Cop certainly perks up when it's mentioned that there's a huge section of the book missing.
I'm just gonna be. I've seen quite a few people looking at this week. Specifically the guide, not the decoder, but we only have one decoder left, so you probably want to get them together. But the guide, again, a lot of people have been looking at that, and if you don't get it now, I can't guarantee it'll be here when you come back.
I just want to say real quick, you hear like swearing in the back room.
I ignore it because I don't care. I'm just messing around. I don't even care if I make the sale. I wouldn't say that out loud, but he doesn't care.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. Perhaps I've made this character too gullible, but so far you're doing a really good job on selling this naive teenager.
I mean, he is a naive teenager the first time he's coming in to buy porn, so perfect. I take the items and I head up to the front to make the sale. I'm very casual about it. I don't care.
You just like drop him down on the counter and go back.
Yeah,
to, like,
basically, you just like drop it on the counter, and I look at what was your character's name? Duncan?
Artemis.
Artemis. I'm like, you can ring it through, right, Artie?
I fucking knew from the moment I saw your character you were not going to use my full. Artemis is like, yes, quite.
I'm glad we're finally getting a character with a British accent.
Yeah, Nifty's always trying to do other accents. Finally, he's just.
I thought we had a British accent character.
We did.
I'm sure we did. I remember back the guy who yelled all the time. He was the best. My best accent was yelling all the time.
Oh, was that the Scottish guy?
No, I like the Scottish guy too. No, it was the guy on the ship. I can't remember his name.
Oh,
he was like the skipper or whatever, and he just like yelled everything.
I remember that.
Oh yeah. Good times. Yeah.
Yeah.
After trying to sell to the kid, I'll look over at the cop and walk over and be like, "Hey, dude, what you looking for?" And I look over at Artie, being like, "See, I'm doing a good job."
Are you gonna keep focus and deal with this cop situation?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I approach the cop and I'm just like, "Hey, can I help you find anything? These super legit, totally monster hunting items."
The cop like looks at you pretty. Sorry, not a cop. Absolutely not a cop.
Yeah.
To be clear, this is a plainclothes police officer who is like everything about their posture is giving them away. But they're definitely they've done an impeccable job of dressing like a regular person. I don't have a name for them, but it's definitely
It's not a cop right now.
Yeah, it's not a cop. And they're a dude. And I guess they're in their like 40s, 30s or 40s.
Okay.
Sorry, what was the thing you said before?
I was like, "Hey, can I help you find anything in our legitimately monster hunting item catalog?"
Yes. I'm looking for a guide. And it's some sort of cryptid hunting guide, and it looks like this. And he produces a like sheet with an image that basically has. It's not like an exact repro of the cover of the guide that you just tried to sell, but it's very close.
Okay. He like leans in, or they lean in with their hand on their chin, looking at the picture, just like, Nah, man, this is all wrong. I think like whoever gave you this picture doesn't look anything like this. Here, let me help you out. I take the picture and I like pull out a red marker and I start like drawing on it, like over top of the picture.
Oh my god.
Just straight up pulling a George Lucas. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like, this part's real, this part's CG. It like drawing on it, like making it look not super different, but like I'm not like a perfect artist or something, but I edit the picture enough to look like a different book, and I hand it out and just like, but we have what you're looking for.
Look at this, obviously shopped.
He like squints at the picture and then reaches in his jacket and produces another slightly different, like it's a picture taken from a different angle. Like looks at them both. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure that this item is in the store, and I'd really appreciate if you could help me find it.
I do have the item, but I'm telling you, the picture's wrong. That's the picture you have is not the monster hunting guide that you're looking for. That one is a fake. And it's very I've been working here for a few years. It's clearly I'm pretty good at this by now. That one is clearly a fake. But again, I'm going to show you the real one. And I walk down one of the aisles.
Okay, I think I'm going to set up some stakes here to find out if you're going to roll before you continue with this attempted deception.
Yeah.
Which is, if you do this, the second you set foot outside this store, you're going to get arrested.
Okay, I'm not stepping outside the store yet.
Obviously this guy's in plain clothes, so they can't arrest you, but they will send people to arrest you. If you just continue without doing a roll to, like, try and pull this off.
Yeah, I'll do a roll.
Yeah, roll a d12 if you are using your class feature, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
To somehow help sell this, that he's got this person has come in with two perfect pictures of exactly what they were looking for, and those pictures are somehow wrong.
No, they're the fake, dude. No, like he asked for a monster hunting book. Okay, I'm rolling. A 6. What does that mean again?
On a 6, you describe how you turn the situation to your favor and the threat is resolved, but a coworker gets to say what factor complicates the situation. And we say the situation is that, like, JD, not a cop, is just, like, continuing to barrage you with doubts and becoming more and more agitated the more you, like, brush them off.
Okay, so okay, so the way it's gonna...
Oh, sorry, I should say the complication as well. My bad.
Okay, if you... Or do you want somebody else?
Oh, no, actually, describe how you resolve, and then somebody can pick a complication afterwards.
Okay.
I think that's fine.
Okay, so, I'm gonna put on this long spiel about how the item's actually cursed, but it does seek out those who are looking for it, so you know it's the real one if it comes to you. And just shortly after I say that, a book falls off the top shelf and kind of like hits the guy. It's a small book, about the size that the actual one is, and it like lands on his head and falls on the floor, and it looks like the one that my character drew on. Like, it looks like the doodle I made.
I love this.
I'll explain how my character did it later, but
I love this because it could be something weird, but it could also be that you've, like, set up a floorboard, that you press the floorboard in a particular way, and then the book falls down, and you're like, ha! I fooled you. Okay.
Okay, so anybody else, feel free to come up with a complication.
Yeah.
I figured I would suggest somebody else do it, so they are participating.
Yes.
Wait, so you're trying to sell a guide. We don't necessarily... Has the teenager left already?
No, presumably
No.
he's still...
So...
I think after this, we will hop focus over to somebody else, if that's fine, Eve. And try and deal with the actual customer.
Yeah, we'll do a complication. We'll do the complication, and then we'll hop over to the customer. That way, the audience is like, oh, what happened?
Yeah, also, you have time to think about how you're going to deal with this complication, right?
Because I think it'd be kind of funny if the teenager sees, like, the other book and he wants that one.
Oh, okay. That's multiple things on this list. The buyer now wants to buy the fake item that you were trying to sell the police so that they wouldn't find the real item that the customer is actually buying.
This absurd sequence of events has convinced him that the legit item is fake.
This makes it hard to take focus away from Vexx, though.
You can actually kind of do like a rewind time thing of like
yeah.
now
I should be
the teen is dealing with you.
Artemis.
Well, I deal with the cop.
So I guess
think then, like, it'd be a good excuse to like introduce another character if we're doing that.
I mean I was gonna do the sale because I happened to be, or try and do the sale.
Yeah, because I just shoved it off on him. I'm like, you can do this, right? Hey, and I walked away. I was like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. I got bored.
I need to establish something before I do this scene, which is when the buyer looked at the guide and was like, is it supposed to go from page 5 to page 77? And Vexx brushed it off. Did they brush it off because they were Vexx, or did they brush it off because they already knew that?
Oh yeah, Vexx knows. Vexx is probably pretty good with knowing, first of all, what most of the cryptid things are and what they do. But they're more interested in messing with people.
Okay.
I just told them that it's part of the codex. Like, that's just, that's how codex books work. You have to work it out.
Yeah, I got it.
It, like, gives people powers just to see what happens. So it gives you like a powerful like cryptid book just to let's see what this kid does with it.
Yeah, that's something Vexx would totally do.
Vexx is just the outsider from Dishonored.
Has Vexx clued in at all that this guy's a cop yet, or just like no idea?
I think Vexx suspects that they're there for more than just like actually, like, especially when they pull out the picture. I think Vexx is used to dealing with people who they would want to avoid normally because, actually being a cryptid. So I think Vexx kind of clues in, but doesn't quite know that he's specifically a cop.
So I'm taking a minute because I need to think about how Artemis. When Artemis recognizes there's a problem with the book, he's going to have to play it off somehow. Because the teenager's not going to realize, right? Because they're
a dumb teenager.
Yeah, they've been pretty well swindled so far.
Actually, no, I know exactly what happens. That makes this great. Is so the Vexx dropped the items off at the counter, right?
Yeah, just toss them on the counter like a boop.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Artemis just rings up the TV guide, and then he like picks up the cryptid guide to put it through, but then like stops to examine it, like thumbs through it, and then like pulls an inventory board out from underneath the counter. He's like, one second, sir. Looks at the inventory board, and then Esty, is your character actually first name Poyn, last name Dexter?
Yes.
I guess that just call him Dexter.
Yeah.
Dex, maybe.
No.
Dex.
You wouldn't call him Dex. I would call him Dex.
I'd call this dude Dex. Artemis wouldn't call this guy Dex.
Okay, yeah, it's definitely my character would definitely call him Dex. Though.
Yes.
He might even call him Poyn Dexter.
Dexter. Dexter, could you come to the counter a moment? I know the sales are important, but this is important too.
He like just comes out, just like grumbling under his breath. He's like, "It's fine. I'm just done. What's up?"
I need you to go to the back room. Artemis doesn't say wink wink, unlike you guys.
My character definitely would be like, I need you to go to the back room. A wink wink.
I need you to fetch sections at F29 through E17, clippings 12 through 5, and the decoding wheel. He's like going through the inventory, and just collect those things so that we can complete the sale. Disclaimer, out of character, those things are not in the back room. Those things aren't anywhere because they're the incomplete bits of the book that we thought we were going to sell.
So what do I do? Oh no.
I mean, you go to the back room. What do you say when I send you this stuff? Do you just go? You just take orders from Artemis?
Yeah, just walk into the
He's
back.
the boss.
Yeah. He's the boss.
Daryl, what awkward, polite conversation am I making with you? Or I mean, are you just like the teenager? I mean,
the teenager.
because it's going to take a while to go not find this stuff.
I imagine he's doing something like loudly playing Raid Shadow Legends on his phone or something like that.
Dude, have you heard this game? Like, so many people suggest it.
This cool roll I got.
Artemis is like, oh, are you playing a Raid Shadow Legends?
Yeah, man, I heard
Artemis
that
knows.
I'm pretty good at it. Let me show you.
Oh my god, does Artemis spend a bunch of money?
Yeah. Artemis has like $2,000 worth of like expensive MTX shit.
I gotta fucking hack the Raid Shadow Legends account. I hope there's no Raid Shadow Legends fans in the audience who are gonna call me out on my lack of Raid Shadow Legends knowledge.
Raid Shadow Legends.
I like we've killed this opportunity for RP by doing a goof about free to play.
Nah, man, you're gonna like pull out your phone and you're gonna be like, check this out, and he's gonna see that you spent like $1 million on this fucking game.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, what this teenager would be doing is being slightly annoyed how long this is taking and probably playing a shitty mobile game. Whether or not we want that to actually be Raid Shadow Legends.
No, we've canonized this interaction now. The teenager's playing a mobile game, Artemis plays the same mobile game, but they are a whale.
I guess that at some point, teenager, while he's impatiently waiting, would see that I'm trying to sell another book to somebody else and hyping that book up, and that's when he's like, "Wait a second, I want that one."
Yeah, I mean that's definitely gonna happen.
Oh right, and that was the complication, is he's gonna come over and want to buy it. So my character's just like, wait, how can I dupe them both?
Yeah. Also, I don't know how capable this shitty teenager is going to be in actually purchasing, legitimate Cryptid merch.
I want to move focus over to Dexter.
Yo.
Okay.
Because I sent them from one back room to a different back room.
Okay.
And I want to know what specifically is up with the missing bits of the book.
Because it's
Make
not
shit up.
Yeah.
Okay, so like the areas don't exist, so he's just kind of like looking back, like, what the fuck do they even want me to do back here? And so he just starts like kind of idly going through like missing pages to see if anything sounds like it would belong, because he wasn't given like anything else to do. He's just like, I don't know, man. He sees like a folder that he think might have it, but it's like underneath a pile of books. So he's just like, oh fuck, I gotta like take all these down. So now it's just like him idly moving books for what is going to ultimately be the wrong thing.
I mean, there is no right answer.
Exactly.
I guess that's what creates the teenager waiting too long to want the book I'm selling him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything goes silent.
Yeah, I need you guys to help me out here. I can't generate all the threats and obstacles myself.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, Daryl, this is also your job when you're not actively playing, is you're supposed to be helping other people with their scene.
So I guess that counts as technically something important has been misplaced. That's the rough.
Yeah, but
that's a complication.
That complication only comes up if you roll for something.
Okay.
Oh, but this is if it's uncertain, your coworkers will tell you.
It's like, I can't describe anything uncertain or dangerous about going to a back room to look for something, to just look for something that isn't there.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, how about I think it's dangerous because since the books and shit are piled up so high, it's actually holding up a shelf that it's hard to tell that they're holding up the shelf, but it's holding up a shelf, and if you aren't too careful, it's just gonna fall all on you and probably destroy some stuff.
You don't have to roll. So the way this works with threat, obstacle, or opportunity, we're gonna tell you what bad thing will happen based on whether it's dangerous, uncertain, or both. And then if you're like, I'm gonna use my skill or I'm gonna roll to try and have the bad thing not happen, and then if you roll well, you just manage to escape. and on like a partial, it's like you escape, but things get worse in a different way. And on a fail, it's like everything gets badder. Everything gets badder, but there's a hope that might help you in the end.
Okay, so I'm gonna like try to tug at that pile. That's like the folder that's underneath the pile of books, and there was something I didn't see.
Okay. And are you gonna roll for this?
I should roll, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so boop. 1.
Oh boy.
You describe how the situation goes completely wrong and you are put in danger, but your coworker gives you a hope. Okay. So what happens, Esty?
Yeah.
It just falls, and I am now pinned under a pile of papers.
Are you? Can we put you on the second floor, like somewhere above the counter, so that there's
so we
like
all hear a thump.
some dust falls from the ceiling?
It's like a bunch of crashing.
Artemis like looks up, looks down, brushes the dust off his shoulders.
Can I introduce a hope?
Yeah.
I guess this is technically learning something new that is helpful. Although you are pinned under several books, some pages have come loose from another book, and it turns out that they are actually some of the required pages for the monster hunting guide. They just kind of got shuffled in wrong into another book. So some of them are there, but you have to, actually get to them without them,
Sorry, Eve, when you rolled your dice, I should have increased our exposure, right? Because you used your weird ability.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Carry on.
Does that mean it goes up again?
No, because Esty, did you roll 2 dice or you rolled 1?
I rolled 1.
Yeah, so it doesn't go up. If you just roll the d12, it doesn't go up.
Oh, I just rolled the d12.
Oh, I thought you used weird. Okay, then.
I did, but I meant to, but I didn't realize I rolled both dice if I do that.
Okay, yes. If you roll your thing, if you roll with your ability, you roll with advantage. That's why it's useful.
Oh, yeah. Put up the thing anyway, because I did intend to use my weird. I just
Okay.
Either way. Anyway, so Esty's pinned, or I guess Poyn Dexter is pinned, but sees what they potentially need that will help.
Do we feel like this is a good cliffhanger to rotate round to somebody else?
Somebody else, like the one guy who hasn't done anything.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I've done some stuff, just not as my character at all.
How about the thump above causes some of the black suitcases to fall out of their hiding place?
Oh shit, my gear.
I don't really know how that opens you up to anything. Maybe no, I don't know how that opens. I just figure it would be related in the sense that so far everything we've done has been related to the previous thing.
I know. I like how that transition happens, right? Like, if this was a TV show, you'd see the crash, you'd see the dust fall down from the ceiling, and you'd see the camera pan across, and like one of Sniffer's suitcases gets like dislodged, or like knocks on the floor, like it's gonna come open or something.
Yeah, I just don't know how that would open for a scene for him to react, because right now he's kind of alone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could say that it cracks open and it has several guns inside, and I'm like nervous about, one, the presence of coworkers, and two, the presence of a guy who I know is definitely a cop right over here.
You mean definitely not a cop, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I love that it opens, there's a bunch of guns inside, and like
it could the thump and the loud bang in the back could alert the cop to the back, like, oh, what was that?
Dex just like, help. Except it sounds like weirdly robotic because he has this stupid modifier. Help me, I am stuck.
I don't know if Nifty wants to go that route because he's the cop, but that's my suggestion on how to make it interesting.
The reason I don't really want to remove the cop from that scene is because we've set up this Vexx cop kid scene where they're gonna fight over the thing that you didn't want to sell to either of them.
Yeah.
Which is great.
I mean, I wanted to sell it to the cop just because I thought it'd be funny, but not so much that I'm actually trying to sell it to the cop. I'm just, fucking with people.
I I do want to get Sniffer into this scene somehow. I'd like to do that. And if that is, like, comically this suitcase spills open, it's full of guns, and we immediately get into a threat, obstacle, or opportunity of it being both dangerous and uncertain that if this not a cop turns around, they're going to see...
Oh, yeah. Do you think it fell in... So it fell in a way that if the cop turned around, he would see it?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. If we accept the flavor, I'm gonna say this is just like stupid hardware is in here. Like there's a grenade launcher, like an assault
Yeah, I like it. It's like a Bugs Bunny thing.
pops out and slides across the floor.
And it's like right behind the cop.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what does your character do in reaction then?
Probably curses and is like trying to do like a stealthy crawl over to like, you know, kind of like a hand through the bars, trying to grab the key sort of thing, but trying to like grab the handgun from behind the cop to put it back in the case and, you know, put it all away before he notices.
I assume
Okay, well, this is definitely dangerous.
This is
or
yeah.
uncertain.
This
I would
is
say it's
both
uncertain.
dangerous and uncertain.
Yeah, definitely.
So you're gonna roll, right? What was your ability again?
Mine's information, which is you know.
I have to check.
not-
Is this whole thing unfold? Like, is this out of Artemis's sight? I assume it's out of. It's got to be out of Artemis's sight. He'd be losing his goddamn mind otherwise.
He's like turned away, looking at some bullshit.
I know he's still playing fucking Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
distracted with the Raid Shadow Legends. I like this.
Like the shop, there's so much bullshit in here that like the lines of sight are broken all over the place.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's also that. There's
Yeah, so
fucking
if
shit
something was
everywhere.
happening on the floor, you're not gonna see it unless you're like, you know,
No,
really close to it.
Okay.
You would look at CCTV.
God, no,
Right.
Don't worry, we'll fix that later. Yeah, we can fix that later.
Well, yeah, let's establish it's both dangerous and uncertain, and if this cop sees this stuff, they are going to call the the proper cop. The not plainclothes cops. They might even freak out a little bit themselves.
That's a 2.
You didn't even... Oh, you
Yeah, he
couldn't
did.
apply it. Okay.
Yeah.
You
Okay, how
describe-
does this go wrong?
Well, I'm gonna say that the handgun goes off.
Oh no!
Like...
Screaming from just actual broken screams.
Like, you know, our agent operator specialist man just reaches out and grabs the gun, but he grabs it by the trigger and he forgot to put the safety on.
Safety on?
Yeah. Yeah, you always keep your guns loaded just in case.
Okay, so he's an American.
Undisclosed.
So the gun goes off right behind the guy. So I want to do the hope. Unexpected help appears as the gun goes off. Since everyone's like jumping, I want to say that Vexx kicks the gun under some shelving just to kind of slide it out of the way. So there's some plausible deniability. I don't know where we're going with this, but Vexx is doing his best. Their best.
I think I'm gonna need to add an extra hope here. I think because I don't think that's unexpected, right? I guess it is. You can't be sure that Vexx is going to help you out, but
Yeah,
that's kind of why I figure.
Okay.
It's like I also have another thing up my sleeve, which I'll explain later, which is why it's unexpected.
yeah. No, I'm asking for the purposes of rewriting these rules because the way that thing is framed is supposed to be like, oh, we can introduce a new NPC.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll do a rewrite on it. Who's in focus when this cop reacts to...
I assume the cop would look at Daryl's character because Daryl's laying on the ground right where a loud explosion happened.
Actually, can I grab focus here because I immediately want to do
Oh yeah, because
something.
you'd be like, "What the fuck's going on, guys?"
Yeah.
I immediately wanna try some nonsense. So, you guys yell at me if this is too convenient, but I think it's very hilarious. Is that one of the things that's behind the counter is this? It's like this '90s ghetto blaster that's supposed to play the perfect music. every time you hit it. So as soon as the gun goes off, the first thing Artemis does is like slams the play button on the music he's gonna be like, oh man, this explosion was part of this rad audio that was playing.
Roll for sure, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I don't think this is sneaky at all.
We need to roll to determine whether or not your song is appropriate.
Whether it plays something good or plays fuck the police.
Like some R&B comes on or something, just like something totally doesn't fit.
That song was it? It wasn't me.
ASMR.
Sorry, which one? What?
It wasn't me.
God damn it.
Although also just like a voice clip from a VTuber or something would be really fucking weird.
Really loud porno.
An ad for Raid Shadow Legends.
No, that would spice up things.
NordVPN.
Oh right, I made a roll.io thingamajiggy. I was having a complete brain fart and was like, where are we actually rolling dice?
Yeah.
Alright, time for the bullshit boombox.
I can't wait.
I just wanted like a stupid magical item.
It's okay.
A 6? How bad is a 6?
Partial, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Describe how you turn the situation to your favor and the threat is resolved, but a co-worker gets to say what factor complicates your situation. You guys are gonna help me out here. What song like famously opens with like gunfire, gun-like noises? There's got to be like.
Does that fucking school shooter song have gunshots in it? Fucking all
not pumped up kicks, but that would be hella funny.
It's a pretty chill song overall, actually.
It's just it's that Ivy and Polka Miku mix where all of the beats are changed to gunshots.
Oh, hang on, there's a thread for best gunshots in a song.
Good.
Get some like fucking loud ass death metal or something like that. that'd be an appropriate audio cover.
These
just start playing slug bait.
I know. Beat It opens with police sirens. That's something.
I mean, I feel like if there's
cops... we can like gaslight him and be like, "Yeah, Michael Jackson's songs always say."
Yeah, don't you remember gunshots? And yeah, everybody knows about that.
Oh, this is a fancy remix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah, it's fucking Michael Jackson remix.
Oh.
Also, if it's Beat It, that's an excellent song to get the cop out of our store.
No, I know what song it is. It's Mia Paper Planes. Because it has that bit in the hook where she goes bang, 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 but it's actually gunshots.
Yeah, good call. Yeah, man, I'm surprised I didn't think of that myself.
Either that, or it could be the bit in This Is America where Dong Lava guns a bunch of people down.
Yeah.
Are those gunshots actually in the music, though? I think they're just in the music video.
Gosh, I wouldn't.
It's a shitty YouTube rip copy where it's at the end of it. It's like, subscribe to my channel, guys.
It's like somebody ripped it straight from the channel instead of just like downloading the proper song.
It's just a fucking YouTube downloader rip. Yeah.
It sounds like something Vexx would do.
God damn it!
Didn't know how to do it properly.
But yeah.
I think Vexx would know.
It's Mia Paper Planes, but maybe it's like a weird, shitty cover of it or something.
Yeah, it's a remix with extra gunshots.
What complication does this introduce?
I was just thinking about, it took up more time than you planned. It's like, this song is Paper Planes is the cop's favorite song, so he stays in the store to listen to the whole thing.
I mean, I think like getting the cop to leave the store is a challenge for us. So being like, the cop stays in the store is not a big deal.
Yeah,
because that was going to happen either way. Like they were going to be difficult to get rid of anyway. You don't have to use something strictly off of this list.
I don't know.
I'm surprised you guys are having troubles coming up with a complication given how shitty my plan was.
I mean that like I don't really know what to say about it because like your plan worked. I don't know what the complication would be on your shitty plan that worked.
I mean, I'd say I'd say that it's not just playing this, but also Artemis trying to sell it. Like he's also the cops like suspicious when I did this, and then he's trying to play it. He's like, oh yeah, no, the gunshots in that song are louder, so much louder than I remember.
Oh, I had to turn down the volume right away.
Yeah. This is still like a gun went off in this room. Technically, I think most of our ears would be ringing right now.
Yeah.
And there's.
I'm trying to think of the best way for him to be like, what the actual fuck?
Presumably a bullet hit something somewhere, but hopefully that's not a problem.
I mean, it probably is. That could be an issue coming up.
Bullet. There's like a bullet hole somewhere visible on Artemis's clothing that he's now like trying to cover up.
Yeah, that's always.
I feel like that's a bit too much, but it would be funny.
I'm trying to think of like something that would be like a complication without like him wanting to arrest us and then figuring out how to like not kill the cop.
So it worked, but there's another complication. Is it related to it, or is it like could be anything?
No, you guys can like suddenly ogres this. That's fine.
I don't know what that means, but I assume it means make shit up.
Suddenly ogres is just in any game where you have like a partial success where something bad can happen. If you have no idea what to do, you can just be like suddenly ogres, right?
The bullet where the bullet that got released from the gun that got shot out hit a pipe, and now there's a leak, a fairly obvious leak.
That's pretty bad.
I mean, I'd say that's still related. That's something or someone got damaged, right? Is this pipe?
Yeah.
Where is leaking? Or do we not know? Can we hear it?
Yeah, I think we can hear it. Like it's like a hissing right now of like
a water leak or like a steam leak.
Water.
Oh, okay, I see. Cool. So our incredibly cluttered store is now gradually accruing water damage. Okay.
I don't think it's like a huge bullet. Well, actually, what did you say? What the gun was?
It was a handgun, so it's not going to be like a giant.
Okay, so it's like there'll probably be water damage, but it's probably not going to destroy the whole store.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see.
I feel like the cop's just gonna be like super just on him now.
Yeah, especially he's gonna specifically be on you, Artemis, for like very clearly being like nothing's happening here, nothing.
So okay, maybe then this is what happens is that like there's a beat where like Artemis is like looking at the cop, trying to explain to the cop, but like can hear the water in the background, and then I don't know. He's gonna make some excuse to be like, "Oh, I need to go switch the water off. I need to go turn off." Yeah, no, this is it. It's his dual exit strategy plus I need to do this. He's like, "Oh, I need to go switch the water main off so that the store doesn't get damaged." Does the cop just
that's fair.
Follow him?
Would the cop follow him, or would the cop like start questioning one of us?
I feel like if he's like, oh, like conveniently after the sound of a gun going off, he's like, oh, I'm gonna shut off the water for a leak. I feel like the cop would be like going to find the source of the leak.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Turning off your water main randomly is a little unusual.
Eve said we could hear it, right?
Yeah, we can hear leaking.
Yeah.
Like we can hear kind of like running water, but like not super loud running water because it's still like a small leak. Like it's not...
Also, like like I'm gonna go turn off the water main versus like, oh, it sounds like there's a faucet running is like a little strange.
Well,
like people don't just like turn off the water main.
That's why I was asking what we could hear. If it had just been like, oh, I can just hear some like water in the pipes, it's fine. But we're running like a fucking bookstore, right?
Yeah.
Like there's lots of things, expensive things that water damage would be very bad for.
Yeah.
And turning off all the water to the building is not that dangerous. It's very safe. But I think Eve gets to call whether she thinks my character would know it was a leak just by hearing it.
What is your character's like backstory?
He's like a criminal, but he's a classy criminal who's been using the business as like a front for money laundering.
I think he would be able to tell.
So then back to the original question of, does the cop follow Artemis to the back of the store, or do they start?
I think he would try to find probably, since there was a loud bang and now a leak, he would probably try to find the leak to see if he can find the bullet.
Yeah, he
Because
definitely.
I don't think he bought the, but like there's no gun.
Okay. Well, somebody else should take focus, because I don't think like Artemis in the back of the store is interesting.
The adventure to find the water main.
Yeah. So Nifty, you're playing the cop. So what would the cop do to look for? Because you're the cop, right?
Yes. Yeah. I am playing the. We can decide what the cop does together. I just
Okay.
need to do the voice for the cop, right? Because
Yeah. Also, what would the person we're trying to sell the thing to do?
I feel like our favorite bro, he might be beginning to experience some impatience now, because not only has the thing that he's trying to buy been like kind of devalued in his eyes based on what Vexx was trying to upsell to the cop, now the guy who was selling him the thing has bailed off to the back of the store to turn off the water main. So the transaction is taking much longer than he would have hoped it would.
That's fair. I think Vexx will probably try to help continue selling that while the cop does whatever we want to decide, like if I should do that now while we figure out what the cop does.
There's a choice here of like, do we put the light on Siffer trying to do something about the cop if they would, or do we put the light back on Vexx, like continuing the sales pitch? Which I love, but I want to make sure Daryl gets some time with their character
as his character.
Screen.
Yeah, I mean, like I've got something that'll likely complicate things even further.
Do it, then. Okay. Fucking giver.
Okay. So as the cop proceeds to one, try to find the shell casing, which I've hidden within my trench coat. And also proceeds to, look for the water main and try to find out where Artemis went, because, things are a little sus in here. Our agent boy, he's gonna walk up behind the cop and kind of grab him by the shoulder. Hey, Brad, listen, you've been with the force for a long time at this point, right? Man, you should be in the SWAT team by now. So I've been keeping an eye on this shop for probably at least 2 weeks now, and doesn't look like there's much going on in here, honestly. I know the loud noises were a little suspicious, but there's a lot of strange things in here, but nothing of the otherworldly persuasion. If there is actually anything here, I'll tell you about it. I'm going to find it eventually if there is such a thing, but I think that you're wasting your time here. You should find a better case.
Is going to snicker loudly and be like, yeah, I'd buy that.
Does
I just fucked it up.
Does Siffer know this? Like, is this? I guess my name would have been on my badge, right? Because I'm a cop.
Yeah. So the way I was planning on rolling this is, if I do succeed with this, then Siffer does indeed actually know this guy and has indeed trained with him at Cop Academy before. And if it doesn't roll out, then he's thinking of a different guy, and it's really embarrassing. It's gonna be really, really bad.
I mean, if you're bluffing, this is definitely risky.
Yeah. So
uncertain. It's definitely uncertain.
Yeah. I assume I should roll on this ridiculous attempt.
Are you using your ability?
Yeah. Would this be an information?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. If your thing's information, for sure.
Like up until now. Oh no, wait. He did eventually identify himself as a police officer. Did he? No, he didn't identify himself as a police officer.
No. So he's got no identifying features.
Yeah. So this is definitely an information thing.
Also, I rolled a 12. So.
All right.
I watched that roll.
Turns out, Brad. Did you say it was called Brad?
Yeah, Brad.
Brad not only thinks he knows you, but it's like, yeah, you're able to fuck my wife, right?
Oh, damn, I'm
next Tuesday. Okay, Daryl, tell us how you turn the situation in your favor despite the odds.
Sorry, what was that? What was that about fucking his wife?
That's me gassing. I don't get to describe this. You describe this.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So yeah.
Well, and I need to mark exposure because we used.
Yeah, that's
Whatever. That was totally worth it. Funny as hell.
He just means now the cop knows that like an agent like.
Okay, yeah. So should I just play the scene out?
Yeah.
Okay. So the cop turns to Siffer with surprise in his eyes, and he's whispering. Obviously, he's like, "Holy shit, Lou! I haven't seen you in 10 years. What the hell are you doing here? You're not trying to poach my case, are you?" I guess I'll do a bout of talking to myself here. Listen, buddy, I've been here for 2 weeks. There's nothing to poach here at all. You're wasting your time. You should talk to the boys of the chain of command about doing something a little more notable, because, man, it's the real snooze fest.
I think the cop just leaves, right?
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, yeah, if we're playing that level of bullshit, then yeah, he'd believe me and leave.
Vexx actually Vexx is helping the guy at this point, I think. Instead of but if Vexx was paying attention, he would have been like, bye.
I can't believe that works.
I guess Vexx should take the spotlight. I don't know.
Sure.
It's either you take the spotlight or I come back to go rescue Poyn Dexter, or Poyn Dexter tries to rescue themselves. Esty?
Okay.
What would you rather? What would you rather?
Yeah,
do?
I think I'm just gonna try to like. Where's the front? Because like I'm remember the reference image. It's like super tight. So I'm just gonna try to crawl under it like that fucking weird brother that would hoard with his other brother. Fuck, I don't remember their names. This joke has gone down. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna try to just dig myself out. So I guess I can just roll.
Eat your way out. Eat the books.
Eat the books.
I just keep thinking of the episode of The Simpsons where everyone thinks Bart killed Principal Skinner because he tells the whole story about how he's lived in his garage, eating. What was he eating? Some shit. And he like loops a vacuum cleaner or something around a banister to pull himself out. It's so dumb.
I remember that.
God, I wish my Simpsons references were sharper.
It's the one where Bart joins the mafia.
I don't remember that.
That sounds like a good one.
He joins. It is a very good episode of The Simpsons. So yeah, Esty, you're just trying to crawl your way out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to get out because nobody's bothered to fucking try to help me.
Nobody knows you're there.
I was covering for some shit. And then my products are definitely more important than your safety. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, so he's just gonna try to climb out.
Did you just roll? Did you just roll at 12?
No, I'm gonna roll now.
Ooh.
8.
Okay, that's an 8.
Okay. Okay. What's a fun complication?
What's a fun complication for me trying to get out under the books?
Someone else is supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at the list of complications because I'm thinking it's like whilst crawling out of the pile, you do find some parts to this guide, and the parts of the guide are like, oh yeah, this guide is also haunted, or this guide is also dangerous.
Yeah,
I like haunted though. Haunted is very good.
Yeah.
When all right, when Poyn got pinned under those books, the what are we calling those? Yes, the sliver of hope from that bad roll was that some of the pages of the item were actually located amongst all the garbage. So if you wanted to make them really bad, that wouldn't be too much of a stretch.
What do you guys think of that? There's two things on this problem table. There's cursed and haunted.
Ooh.
I mean, they sound cursed. It already like stuck him under a bunch of books.
Yeah, I'm amenable to cursed unless
it's,
we want
it's pretty fucking
unless we
cursed.
want to introduce an annoying ghost.
Is this why the guide's in pieces? Is we took the bits of the guide that are incredibly unlucky out?
Ooh.
And we just forgot.
Oh, that's fun.
We forgot.
Yeah, I'm down with this if you guys are. But like, the problem with the item is that it's cursed to be incredibly unlucky.
I was like, oh no.
In
Can't
which
wait to
case,
sell
I'm
it.
going to be fucking overjoyed to sell this thing and get it out of my store. Frankly.
If we can sell it.
Yeah. That's the downside, is you've discovered that our item is cursed, but hey, you have cursed guide pieces.
Okay, I'm gonna go find Artemis.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
You've somehow been successful in finding the pages.
Did you say phone Artemis?
No, I'm gonna go find him.
Oh, okay. I thought it'd be funnier if you texted Artemis.
Yeah, I don't know. What,
Like,
what do you put away
found
in
guide,
case-
very cursed.
Still cursed, can confirm.
Does
It's like we have a problem.
does Poyn Dexter use emojis?
Oh, God.
Yeah, he like made his own set of stickers of like an emoji of his like Oni avatar. So he has like the obnoxious ones that like post, like the big ones on Facebook. Just like a panic like emoji, and we have a problem.
So I take it that Artemis already knew this item was cursed, right?
No, I don't think so. Because
Okay.
Vexx
I think
probably knew.
when we talked about this, it's like Artemis isn't really bought in on the whole
Okay.
cryptid.
Yeah.
Like, he knows.
Oh, so Vexx is like, yeah, these pages are cursed, and then he's like, yeah, sure, that'll be a good selling point.
I think it's like, ugh, I hate using this word, but he's like cryptid agnostic.
Right, yeah, because he's like a Scully, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he doesn't deny that weird shit happens. He's just like, I'm not going to get into some woo-woo nonsense to try and explain it.
The woo-woo bullshit, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Needlessly skeptical.
He certainly doesn't believe that like magical creatures are coming from another dimension and tainting our land with their power or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
Whatever shit's happening.
Yeah, Vexx is like, yeah, you're right. Who would believe that
who would believe
crap?
that crap. I think that the Poyn Dexter gets like there's a huge long wait whilst so like there's the dots of writing, and then you get like a whole paragraph response that is very well formed of like, oh yes, I just had to turn off the water main, and then
No, it's like, dear Poyn Dexter, and then like a couple enters, and then like the paragraph, and then you always sign it with your name.
Can I make a request?
yes.
You know when like those like boomer dads that are sending messages to their kids, but they use like the Facebook filter, so it's like a unicorn talking to their kids because the dad thinks it's funny and hip with the kids.
No,
I mean,
I don't know.
kind of,
Yeah.
but I wish I didn't.
Yeah. I was just thinking like old person trying to use text. He's like, oh, if I'm hip with the kids, if I use the stuff on it, right? So he just like sends back like, I had to turn off the water main, but it's like a unicorn talking.
I think that okay, I've been doing this as a bit in my lexicon game. That
But
it's
just would be fun too.
it's like he has a very formal writing style, but then also uses emojis in ways that don't make any sense.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, good.
And
Love
that's
that.
how, like, he uses them like too literally, and it's just weird. And that's how he's like an old person. Dang! Don't make me turn my character into a boomer.
Too late. He's playing Raid Shadow Legends. He's
Is
Well,
playing
he's-
Raid Shadow Legends a boomer thing?
I don't know.
Historian likes it. He's pretty old.
One of the
He is a historian.
one of the top Raid Shadow Legends players in the world.
I mean, like,
Actually-
Artemis definitely has more money than sense, but Vexx, what's happening whilst this tech? Are you texting me and looking for you're texting Artemis and looking for him, right?
Poyn Dexter, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah. Just like try because I'm like holding the pages like, oh no, what do we do?
How are you? Are you like holding them away from you? Does Poyn Dexter think that they're cursed. I guess they must do, because that's what we just said the complication was.
Yeah. So he's just like holding it in like one hand, like just kind of like keeping an eye on it just in case anything happens. Just like, hey.
Oh, are you like stay here? You want to stay here whilst Artemis comes to you, so you don't have to carry the very unlucky object anywhere?
Oh no, I didn't even think about that. I think that he was actually like just shouting while he walked, like Marco Polo.
Okay. Vexx, you can hear Point Dexter yelling for Artemis in the background.
I like it.
Your
Not
mark
that
is
Vexx would help.
Your mark is waning, and your other mark, I guess fucking Siffer ruined that sale for you, but also fucking got the cops out of our store. So, what do you do?
I'm gonna attempt to continue the initial sale of the stuff. I'm gonna slide behind the thing and be like, let me think of how he'd try to convince him to keep buying the. He'll start like ringing him up like as if nothing has changed, and been like, "Boy, that was crazy, wasn't it? That silly guy who didn't know what he was talking about. Between you and me, I was trying to scam him."
I have an important question. Is Mia Paper Planes still playing in the background?
Yes.
No one shut it off, so it's
yeah, loudly.
Unless the boombox is switched over to another opportune song.
Well, that's what Vexx is. He's trying to just say that. Yeah, what an idiot that other guy was. Good thing you're not an idiot and you're buying the correct thing.
Yeah, time to step into the shoes of bro. Hey, so are we gonna get those missing pages anytime soon? Because me and the buddies, we really want to take this thing out into the woods, right? But I gotta be rock climbing in like half an hour, so if you guys could speed this up, that'd be great.
Vexx will be slightly annoyed that he has to worry about other people doing something to. Basically, he was just hoping to sell the thing and be done with it, but now he actually has to like do something to make the sale. He's like, yeah, they'll be right down. Just purchase now, and we will hand them to you before you leave.
Whoa! Back up. My dad's a lawyer, and he's told me never to do stuff like that. Once the product's all in one piece, then you get your money.
Vexx doesn't really want to leave him here, and other people are supposed to be getting that stuff. So it's like Vexx leaving will probably just like lose the customer as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think that we can do something where either me, Artemis, or I think what would make more sense is for Poyn Dexter to enter the scene. I don't know if you guys want to do a threat, obstacle, or opportunity before that. Like, if we think that's interesting, to have Vexx do something to like diffuse the customer a little bit.
Yeah, if he doesn't make his rock climbing, he's gonna be pretty upset.
I'm really surprised that when he brought up the rock climbing, Vexx wasn't like, we have some.
No, actually, I was just that literally just popped in my head. He's like, rock climbing, you say? There's a lot of cryptids that love climbing rock, right?
Whoa! I'm not looking for any cryptids, okay? Me and my buddies, we're just going out in the woods. We're not doing anything weird. We just want to go out and read our guide. You know what I mean? We're not looking for anything like that. Wink, wink.
Vexx stares at him like looking unimpressed at first, but then grins and is like, "Yes, a wink, wink." In that case, I have a really good manual about rock climbing that will totally come in handy. It's really good for rock climbing. A wink, wink.
Ooh. All right, fine. I'll take the bait. Show me.
Vexx ducks down and like starts like rummaging through various books, and he pulls out a really large one. Like it's not like thick, but it's like wide and like tall. It's a very large book, and it'll be a hassle to rock climb with. And he thumps it down on the table, and it is about rocks. probably not specifically climbing, but there's rocks on the cover, and he's like very much like, this is like your guide to everything rock climbing. Wink, wink. At least in the, rocks.
If I'm
Ooh.
going to clarify, this is just a regular book about rocks, isn't it?
Yeah, it's some book. Maybe there's something fancy about it, but it's definitely not anything helpful.
Great.
Well, that's pretty crazy. So, which rock is most climbable?
Are these kids talking about drugs in my store?
I just picture his Sixth Sense, and he's like, "Are they fucking talking?" Just like, I need to go back.
Vexx will open the book and flip through a bunch of pages and just stop, mostly on a random one, and we'll just say this one's geodes, the rocks where you open them up and shiny inside.
Yeah,
it's just
pretty suspicious.
Yeah, it's just a page of geos. He's like, these are all about I'm trying to think of rock climbing terms. 1 second.
Does this mean Vexx has actually dabbled in rock climbing before? That's how they know rock climbing terms.
He probably knows the terms, but no, he hasn't specifically done it. He's just
I just picture frantic typing underneath the counter. I'm like, that's rock for climbing.
Oh man, do you have one of your spare hands frantically typing on your phone for you? So
Fucking Google, desperation Google.
Yeah, sure. Let's say that's what's going on. While he's flipping the pages.
I mean, I think I'm going to have to declare this is dangerous.
Do it.
How you've made yourself vulnerable is you're trying to tell a kid who actually, I assume, does know some stuff about rock climbing. Some stuff about rock
But it's
climbing.
not actually about rock climbing. Wink, wink.
Yes, but you need to make it sound legit, right? Not fake. I don't even have the right words for this because of the meta layers going on here.
Yeah, right.
But it's if you're going to use fake terms to talk about drugs, you need to use real fake terms to talk about drugs. Otherwise, people who actually do drugs are like, wow, you're just literally making shit up, aren't you?
Oh, I should just clarify. I don't think our bro character here thinks he's talking about drugs.
No, I was the whole running metaphor here is we're talking about cryptid hunting, but it's in that nobody's here to do cryptid hunting.
Yeah.
Wink,
Overhangs is what he's gonna do. This is all about overhangs. Wink, wink.
I picture that the guy's just really confused at this point and just still going because he's just like, what the fuck?
I mean, I think Vexx and him are on the same level of we're talking about cryptids, but totally not talking about cryptids. Or the spooky things that they want to do, assuming they want to go out into the forest, do some drugs, and find some dragons.
They'll definitely find dragons with those drugs.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, overhangs, of course. Yeah, overhangs, leg bars. It's all pretty important. Yeah.
And then he flips to another random page. He's like, and this is all about racks. Wink, wink. And then he flips through the rest of the book just being like, it's all in here, man. If you you can get this, which I highly recommend to do when you go out into the forest to do regular, normal teenager stuff. A wink, wink. But if you want to do that kind of regular, normal teenager stuff, wink, wink, but rock climbing, this is the book you want. And he pats the hardcover, heavy, large, obnoxious book.
Yeah, man, this looks like some good shit for sure. Yeah. But listen, you're pretty convincing. I got a really good feeling about this Missing Pages book. It looks like it could teach me even more about doing some climbing. You know what I mean? But if I don't get those pages, I'm not going to be happy if I walk out of here, without, a full breadth of climbing knowledge. You know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. And to make it up to you, I'm going to give you a discount if you're going to grab both books because you've waited so patiently.
Man, you can tell Jade works in actual used goods store.
Hey, listen, if I'm being honest here, money's not really my concern, okay? My concern is just getting the highest quality products so I can, me and my bros, we can be as prepared as possible when we go, when we go out there and we're camping, we're hiking around, we're maybe climb some trees, climb some rocks, right? I want to be as prepared as possible. You see some weird stuff out there. That's all I'm saying.
Totally true. I feel the exact same way when I'm buying my totally normal camping and rock climbing books. Like, what's the point really if you're missing all these pages? And when he says, "What's the point really when you're missing all these pages?" They raise their voice in hopes that because they can hear Poindexter, so he's like hoping that Poindexter hears them.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely does. So like that like robotic sounding voice modulator of like Artemis just kind of stops and you just hear like his boots going through the ground, like going across the room into it, and he's just like, "Where's Artemis?"
Vexx is like, "Who cares, man?" and like snatches the papers from him.
He doesn't want to like freak out in front of the customer, but he's looking at Artemis, or not Artemis. Vexx like, you got to stop for a sec. Okay, we gotta have a discussion.
I had to make a statement and ask a question. One is, I think that when you snatch the pages out of somebody else's hand, that's definitely going to trigger the like bad luck thing, because that's what happened last time. Like as soon as Poindexter came in contact with the missing guide pieces, they were incredibly unlucky. And then my question is, does it also affect cryptids, or is Vexx like weirdly unaffected because they are a cryptid?
I think Vexx would have one, Vexx knows about the unlucky. I would assume Vexx would know, because I think Vexx tells Artemis most of what is up.
Okay.
So I think Vexx would have advantage based on the fact that he knows about the curse, so he would be expecting something bad to happen. And I think that's mostly it. And I think most intelligent cryptids, opposed to like the monster cryptids, would also it's kind of like how not everybody who is like just a regular person knows everything about everything, but like the people who do know will have like an advantage on whatever they're.
Okay. So what incredibly unlucky thing happens here that assumedly Vexx is prepared for? Like they know shit's about some weird unlucky shit's about to happen, and they're just going to deal with it. Potentially something to do with the boombox would be funny.
I was also thinking that.
I was going to be like something like the boombox starts making like weird demonic noises or something. But
no,
like,
that doesn't seem.
It's like really easy to resolve that as well, right?
Yeah, I think since the original thing was the books were falling on Poindexter, that maybe it's like it causes things to collapse around you, and so maybe the boombox near him like would fall off and like hurt him, but since he knows it's coming, he just like nudges it back onto where it's supposed to be, kind of like or think of it this way, what would normally happen is if it was Artemis who took it, he would like step to the side and step on the cable of the boombox, causing the boombox to fall onto him. But since Vexx knows it's coming, instead of stepping on the cable, he like kicks the cable out of the way and just slaps the pages into the book, slamming the book shut and like putting it in the bag for the guy, because assumedly the cursed stuff won't happen until he actually touches the book.
Yeah, I think that it needs to be something more dramatic and visible. I'm wondering if it's like a shelf comes down and books start to like all start to slide down, and you just kind of like prop them up with one hand or something.
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. A shelf starts falling over, or like one of, you know how like a shelf held up by like two brackets, and let's say this one should have a middle one but doesn't, and one of the brackets comes off, and instead of everything like falling off, Vexx stops it from completely falling down, but the books just like slide onto another shelf. He'll quickly bag up the things and try to ring the customer through at that point.
Yeah, we are dangerously close to making a sale here.
I think we're nearly done.
This bro wants his books. He's very excited about hanging out in the woods with his bros and buying a bunch of frivolous shit with daddy's
Yeah,
money.
and also doing regular teenage stuff.
Right.
Excited. It's almost like, a teenager buying beer for spring break. And he's just like, yeah, I'm getting a book to go cryptid hunting with the bros.
Yeah, except he might go out and die potentially.
Yeah, and he lose in the scenario.
Vexx does not feel bad for potentially accidentally killing this guy. He'll probably be looking for it in the papers, to be honest.
Yikes.
He's got like a collection in like his room of like the ones that he's
Yeah, no, I love it. He has collections of, or they have collections of like various things, whether it's good or bad, just like stuff that they know that they have affected.
just like you can never prove it was me.
Yeah. And when when they read it, they're probably like, "Oh no!" Whenever something bad happens, like, "Oh, Artemis, did you hear about this poor soul? Probably completely unrelated to us."
I feel like specifically saying probably unrelated. He's just like,
I assume Artemis would be like, "Well, of course it's unrelated to us. What, you think those items are actually cursed?" And Vexx would be like, "You're right. That's crazy."
Right. I forgot. He's like a non-believer.
I
love this story.
He's agnostic, right?
Yeah.
I think calling him like the Scully or Mulder or whatever the situation is a bit too far, but it's, I don't know. If somebody's like something suddenly caught fire and somebody was like, "Oh, that's demons from another dimension," he'd be like, "Yeah, demons, whatever."
Yeah.
He wouldn't be like, he wouldn't be like, "Oh, we need to identify the right spell to get rid of this demon or whatever."
It'll cost you $59.95.
Yes.
Vexx doesn't even care about the money. He's just chaotic neutral.
Okay. Are we going again? Is that what Vexx was saying?
Yeah, I think everything's in order. Yeah.
Okay. Vexx will bag the things, ring them up, and how are you paying, sir?
Oh, just credit card, of course.
Perfect. Vexx types in the amount and holds out the debit machine, and after the payment goes through, assuming it does.
Yeah. Oh, he's gonna need to sign his receipt though.
Okay, he allows it. He like hands him the receipt and the little pen, and while he's signing the receipt, he's like he clips two holes into a business card and it's like, "Make sure you keep bringing this back. You'll get a free one."
I just imagine like he'd go out, walk out to the curb, and be like, "Oh, who fucking keyed my car?"
I can think is if that's the bad luck, Vexx is gonna be like snap their fingers and be disappointed that they don't get to add a clip to their a new news clipping to their wall of misfortune.
Closing the sale. You have sold the item and are flush with cash. Each player should give a final 1 or 2 sentence epilogue on the outcome for their character.
Vexx sold 2 books, and he probably upmarked the second one just because.
I guess that the magical item that you sold is incredibly cursed, so being rid of it is probably good.
Extra better. Vexx lords this over your character's head, and they're like, "See, I did it. I'm so great. Look at that. Now I don't have to do any of the bathroom duty."
Siffer goes out and has brunch. Brad and his wife Josephine. Case notes about paranormal shit that this guy's onto so he can also investigate it. Continues to try and push as much paranormal shit through this store as he possibly can. Continues to try and figure out whether Artemis or Poindexter are cryptids, but still hasn't found any solid leads on the matter.
Vexx was like, "You know what? Poindexter probably is a cryptid," and probably like, "You know what I saw him doing the other day?"
Poindexter.
Just stressed out that we sold that. Just like, oh no, we shouldn't have done that.
Oh, Vexx is very much like, "Cool it, guy. You actually believe in the curse?" Because Vexx probably like pretends that he totally doesn't believe in it, but he knows it's.
And fix your point, like, why do you even work here?
Can this kid actually be related to somebody who's important, rich in the community? Really powerful local lawyer or something?
Yeah.
If that kid dies.
Sure, he was here. Like, he bought a couple regular books.
Yeah,
It was a rock climbing book and a camping book and a TV guide.
The kid just wants to go rock climbing. I don't know what you're doing here for. Sir, we are a cryptid store.
Come on, we're like a hobby store.
Yeah, what do we do? I think maybe that's why Vexx likes working here, is because there's so much like, what, it's books. Did he die by being crushed by books? Then it's probably not us.
My epilogue for Artemis is really simple. He calls the fucking plumber.
I like that. That's like the post-credit scene that everyone's waiting for, and it's just like, really, that was the post-credit scene?
Thanks for checking out the Cryptid Chronicles, an actual play anthology about when the mythical meets the mundane. If you liked our show, please subscribe, like some videos, or leave us a comment. If you want to see the show being recorded live, we stream every Tuesday night from 8:30 till 10:30 PST on YouTube and twitch.com/mismatched. New edits of the live streams are also posted on Tuesday around the time we go live.